machinery isn't fully pre-programmed, but instead shapes itself by interacting with the world. You are a different person than you were at this time last year, because the gargantuan tapestry of our brain has woven itself into something new. Hi everyone, and today we'll be talking about Livewired, the inside story of the ever-changing brain by David Eagleman. So, who is David Eagleman? David Eagleman, the author, is a neuroscientist and co-founder of Neosensory, where he is now the CEO. This is a company that develops devices for sensory substitution and is obsessed with probing the outer limits of this kind of neural transformation. We've all heard of brain plasticity, I think, and that our brains are more plastic than we think, that we can adapt to change situations. In Livewired, though, this is taken further. He really tackles the topic in a fresh light and breaks down these big concepts. So, in Livewired, he shows that not only are we constantly changing and developing, but this neural remodeling, a process called live wiring, affects the core of who we are as individuals, and that we are constantly changing. So again, that quote from the start, our machinery isn't fully pre-programmed, but instead shapes itself by interacting with the world. You are a different person than you were this time last year because the gargantuan tapestry of your brain has woven itself into something new. Now, when I first read this, I found it to be quite daunting. I'm a different person. I've changed so much in 1 year. Where's the old me gone, and who is this new person? But by the end of the book, I found it as something positive. How we have become better and we have adapted. So his expertise in this area comes from his place at the center of this live wiring universe. As the CEO of Neosensory, which is a company that makes sensory aids like wristbands that allow deaf people to feel sound, for example, he's been an architect of brain plasticity research for more than a decade. What I loved most about this book is that he writes in really simple ways. He breaks down things that are normally complicated and gives them to you piece by piece. I mean, I am no neuroscientist by any means, but even I was able to understand these things due to the narrative and the stories and the case studies that are presented to you throughout the book. One case study that I do remember was the story of the 3-year-old child named Matthew. So this child started having seizures, terrible seizures, one after another, and his parents took him to a brain doctor to try and find out what was causing these convulsions, and the doctor gave them an ultimatum. They faced an impossible decision. They either allowed the seizures to continue indefinitely, or they remove half of his brain. They chose the latter. They chose to go ahead with surgery that removed half of their son's brain. Years later, they followed up with Matthew, and he was absolutely fine. You could not tell that he had had half his brain removed. He lived a perfectly, almost normal life, which is amazing, right? I would never have thought that that could be possible. It was really neat to read about how the brain adapts when a limb or a sense is lost or even added, and what possibilities the future holds. In the latter part of the book, he talks about the future of humanity and how we will meld with machine and all the potential thereof, implants and so on and so forth, which was really intriguing, kind of a transhumanist belief. This is where science will allow us to take control of our species development, making ourselves and future generations stronger, smarter, healthier, and ultimately happier. That is what transhumanists believe. Not that I'm saying David Eagleman is one, but it certainly comes across that way. So yeah, I really enjoyed the book. I found it refreshing to see how far we've come and what we have to look forward to in the future. And by the end of the book, I found it really inspiring, as opposed to quite daunting when I started reading it. I found it full of hope and potential, and it's made me want to learn a lot more about the topic, which I know so little about. So, I hope this was helpful for you. David Eagleman has done a couple of really interesting talks at Google and some universities. I'll link those down below in the description. If you have any other comments or suggestions, feel free to post them down below as well. Thanks for listening. See you again next time. Have a great day. Cheerio.